Today on Public Eye News, NMU Brock Tessman is set to step down and assume the presidency of Montana State University. Later, a Michigan couple comes home after more than 30 days in a Mexican prison over a timeshare dispute.
Back early, we'll have your weather forecast for the next couple days. Later, Austin Graham will bring you today's sports breakdown. I'm Emma Morantz.
And I'm Bianca Kroll, and this is Public Eye News. Northern Michigan University President Brock Tessman has announced his departure from NMU. Tessman was in the running to be the next president of Montana State University. He was named NMU's 17th president in February 2023 after he served 4 years as Deputy Commissioner of Higher Education at Montana State University. While at NMU, Tessman had developed new mission and vision statements for the university. He helped out with NMU's 125th anniversary celebration and NMU versus Michigan State basketball game. He said that his biggest privilege was getting the opportunity to spend time with Northern students and hear their hopes for the future. He is set to step down by July 1st and assume his duties as the president of Montana on July 15th. NMU hosted an April 2nd celebration to honor the 2025 Stephen Young and Tricia Kenny Distinguished Faculty Award and 10 NMU faculty members. In honor of the 2025 Stephen Young and Tricia Kenny Award was Paul Truckee. Truckee has been part of the theater and dance faculty since 2003. He has implemented and developed the Bachelor of Fine Arts program in musical theater and acting. The 10 faculty members who received awards were recognized for their excellence for teaching, scholarship, technology innovation, and leadership. The 10 recipients are Diana Lafferty, Greg Warchall, ZZ Lundberg, Michael Crum, Deborah Lemire, Cindy Bass, Joe Lubig, Adam Nato, Lynn Fang, and Sean Shepard.
NMU is expanding its 11th annual Anderton's Earth Week with a variety of activities all across the city of Marquette and Northern's campus. This week is April 20th through the 27th. A variety of activities will be held around campus along with free parking during these events. There will be a shoe drive held throughout the week with drop-off locations at the Keefe, Superior Dome, and Queen City Running Company. April 23rd will feature a denim swap for sexual assault awareness in Jam Ridge. The week is named after John Anderton, beloved professor and former head of the Earth, Environmental, and Geographical Sciences Department. This week is to help students connect with the environment and Marquette. There is going to be a DNR meeting on April 15th in Luce County. This meeting is going to talk about the fishery regulation changes and the department's drone operations. They will also talk about 2 wildlife recommendations. The meeting will be in Newberry from 6 to 8:30 in the department's customer service conference room. The meeting will also cover reports from previous DNR staff, old business items, and subcommittee reports. These advisory councils are designed to improve the DNR and help it with regards to the Upper Peninsula's vast terrain and wildlife needs. For all other information, contact Christy Dahlstrom. Severe weather in the South and Midwest is being blamed for killing at least 20 people. Search and rescue teams have been going door to door in badly flooded areas. Parts of Arkansas and Kentucky got up to 16 inches of rain in the past few days. Dave Malkoff is in Arkansas with a closer look.
This is Nebraska Task Force 1 on duty 8 hours away from home in flooded northern Arkansas.
Basically everything besides from these trees, none of that water is supposed to be there.
As part of a FEMA team, their job is to help local officials.
The levee we want to check on is right through here.
Brady Papik made sure the levee was holding.
I guess so. Maybe there's a house, it looks like right here.
Then the sheriff's department was concerned about this house. It was clear. This team rolls out with special equipment and training anywhere in the country at a moment's notice.
It mirrors our profession as firefighters. That's what we do. This is just at a big national level.
The extensive flooding spread into nearby states. This house floated down the Kentucky River. In Frankfort, Kentucky, the water level surpassed 48 feet overnight, challenging the record set in 1978. The rushing waters inundated homes and businesses. The owner of one basement repair service is now the one in need.
I never thought in a million years I'd be the one needing saving.
Over the weekend, severe winds and tornadoes struck other parts of the southeast, like this twister in northern Mississippi that blew through Blue Springs, battering farms and tearing off the roofs of homes while toppling multiple trees. The powerful storm also prompted tornado warnings in northern Tennessee.
There's just been so many tornadoes lately that it's just scary of the devastation, so many different places.
And here in northern Arkansas, the concern is this rising floodwater. You see that little white building back there? That's where the Black River starts. Anything in front of it is all floodwater. This is only expected to go up for the next couple days, possibly crest on Wednesday. But then the rising floodwater could be an issue for the rest of the week. Dave Malkoff, CBS News, Pocahontas, Arkansas.
Now, Don Shada will be back with your weather and statewide news after this break.
Next time on The Great American Recipe. Finalists, prepare a dish you consider to be your great American recipe.
It all comes down to this very last cook.
My whole continent is riding on my back.
This dish is about my ancestors.
They're leaving nothing on the table.
I want to win.
Holy cow.
This is it.
The winner of The Great American Recipe is...
Hello and welcome back. My name is Beck Burley and I'll be jumping right into your Public Eye Weather Report. Taking a look behind me at the Academic Mall, it's looking pretty desolate right now, not a whole lot of activity, but let's jump into some conditions around the UP. Starting off in Houghton, we're looking at a current temp of 24 with some cloudy conditions. Down in Ironwood, it's a skosh colder with a current temp of 23 with the same conditions. Down in Iron Mountain, we're seeing some windy conditions with a temp of 26. And down in Menominee, it is 30 with some cloudy skies. Taking a look at the eastern side of our board in Escanaba, we're looking at a current temp of 27 with those same cloudy conditions. In Manistique, more of the same with a current temp of 25. And in Sault Ste. Marie, it is 28 with partially sunny skies. And back in our lovely Marquette, it is 22 and windy. Taking a close look at our conditions, we can see winds coming out of the north-northwest at 24 miles per hour with a barometric pressure of 30.14 inches and falling. And tonight, some cloudy skies with a low of 21 and winds continuing out of the north-northwest at 21 miles per hour. And our moon phase is a waxing gibbous. And tomorrow, some more cloudy skies in our forecast with a high of 28, low of 17, and winds continuing out of the north-northwest at 12 miles per hour. Looking ahead, this Wednesday, a high of 39 with some more clouds in our forecast and a low of 30. And this Thursday, a high of 39 with some partially sunny skies and a low of 28. And this Friday, things are starting to warm up a little bit with a high of 43 and a low of 30. That's all I have for weather. Back to the desk.
Well, thank you, Beck, for that weather update. I'm glad the sun is trying to peek out just a little bit. Now moving into our statewide news. A Michigan couple were accused of fraud in a timeshare contract and were held in a Mexican prison for 32 days. Paul and Christy Aquillo from Lansing were in Cancun and had signed a contract with the Mexican-based hospitality group Palace Co. This was a timeshare to buy a membership with the resort in the area. The company had received notices that the couple had canceled the transactions, totaling $116,587, and posted this to their social media accounts. The couple was then found for fraud by the company and arrested on March 4th. Christie's 2 children posted about their parents' arrest and caught the attention of U.S. Republican Tom Barrett. Barrett was able to make a deal with the company and the couple was released from the prison. And the Michigan Department of Insurance and Financial Services, or DIFS, is encouraging Michiganders to review their finances for America Saves Week. DIFS wants Michiganders to set saving goals along with planning to achieve those goals to ensure financial stability. The best way to start saving is by opening an account with a bank or a credit union if you don't already have one. Through the Michigan Open Account Coalition and partnership between DIFS, more than 30 participating banks and credit unions can help Michiganders build up their account. Throughout the week as well, DIFS is posting their content on X, Facebook, and LinkedIn to highlight the importance of saving money. For more information about this event, go to michigan.gov/DIFS. And President Trump says foreign leaders are calling and trying to make deals as his sweeping tariff plan takes hold. 10% across-the-board tariffs kicked in this weekend, ahead of harsher reciprocal tariffs on around 90 countries scheduled for Wednesday. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
Stocks went on a bumpy ride after Monday's opening bell as markets continue to reel from President Trump's tariff strategy. The president on board Air Force One Sunday night said he's not backing down.
I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something.
On social media, President Trump urged Americans to be patient, saying, "Don't be a panican," a new party based on, quote, weak and stupid people. But some Republican lawmakers are joining Democrats in sounding the alarm over an escalating trade war. GOP Congressman Don Bacon of Nebraska says he's introducing a House version of the bipartisan Senate bill to reassert congressional control over trade policy.
If we continue to see the stock market go a certain direction, or if we see inflation or unemployment shift in a bad way, I think then this bill becomes a very viable bill.
President Trump says he spoke with Japan's prime minister this morning ahead of reciprocal tariffs taking effect Wednesday. White House officials say more than 50 countries have called the president to try to negotiate.
They're dying to make a deal, but I said, we're not going to have deficits with your country. We're not going to do that, because to me a deficit is a loss.
Today, the first foreign leader to talk tariffs with President Trump in person will be Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visiting the White House this afternoon. The U.S. ally is set to be hit with a 17% reciprocal tariff later this week. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The stock market closed at 4 p.m. today with the Dow Jones Industrial Average going down 349 points. Now to Austin with your sports report.
Thank you very much, Emma. Welcome back. I'm Austin Graham, and this is your Public Eye Sports Report. Starting on the ice, Alex Ovechkin has broken the record for most goals scored in NHL history. Ovechkin's 895th career goal came off an absolute rocket of a wrist shot sent past Ilya Sorokin. After the goal was scored in the second period, the game was briefly paused for a ceremony where Ovi addressed the crowd and shook Wayne Gretzky's hand, the man who had previously held the record for 31 years. Prior to Sunday's game against the New York Islanders, Ovechkin had never scored on Sorokin, making the moment even sweeter for the NHL's new all-time goal scorer. Lobbing it over to the court, the UConn women's basketball team are your 2025 national champions. It was all Huskies from the very beginning of this one, as UConn dominated South Carolina 82-59 to capture their first natty since 2016. The win brought Paige Beckers, the projected #1 overall pick in this year's WNBA draft, her first ever national title. Ozzie Fudd was named the Final Four's most outstanding player after her performance against the Gamecocks, where she posted 24 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist. And ending the day with lacrosse, the NMU women's team split the weekend with a loss to Concordia St. Paul and a win over the College of St. Benedict. Saturday afternoon, the Wildcats visited GLIAC foe Concordia St. Paul, which saw a 13-9 decision in favor of the Golden Bears. Sunday was a different story as the Cats ended the road trip with a W over College of St. Benedict. Josie Lukoski exploded with 7 goals on the day, while Taylor Priestley was right behind her as she found the back of the net 4 times. The Cats are back in action this Friday night at 5 as they cross the Mighty Mac to take on league rival Grand Valley State. That's all I have for sports. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
In the 4th year of Changing Planet, we are focusing on 2 of the largest river restoration projects ever attempted.
What?
One urban.
The River Seine is undergoing a colossal detox.
One wild and remote.
These dams will be completely gone within a matter of months.
Everyone knows there's hope. It's big.
These are stories of ambition and action for our changing planet.
Thank you, Austin, for that amazing sports report. Bianca, how do you feel about the news that happened this morning with NMU's campus?
I think it's definitely a shocker to see that Brock Tessman is going to leave and go to Montana State University, but I do know that it's his alma mater. How about you?
I feel like it's going to be good for
And that's
him.
all the time we have at Public Eye News. I'm Bianca Kroll.
And I'm Emma Maratz.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.